Alright, we're moving on to the BO3 first half between HHDG and FPX.ZQ. So, yep, currently we can see that the Lakeside Village has been selected by HHDG, which the Lakeside Village is known to be the strongest map from Dongshan, so this is a big surprise here. So we can see that the Seer and the Mercenary has been banned, this time letting out the Antiquarian, while the Dream Witch and the Opera Singer has been banned because, like, even Dream Witch has sort of fallen out of the meta. She's still a character that Dongshan is known to be very strong at. So this time the Forward and, let's see, the Psychologist has been selected, which is nothing wrong here. Forward can harass and the Psychologist can like regen wine. So actually, like we can see the HHDG survivors still have a lot of options because yeah, like the Patient still exists, Patient gets banned, and they also have the Antiquarian too should they want to play it here. So looking on for HHDG, like they can either select the Antiquarian or they can select like an Acrobat to solidify their kiting. Like they just have too many options here right now. As like comparingly, as I mentioned, is that HHDG's BP was like better than FPX.ZQ. So yep, Acrobat is gonna get selected here. So currently, like for Dongshan wise, like this is actually a very solid team comp. They have the Fort as an Harass Priestess and the Acrobat, and they can also select another support too. Because like if they don't, there's only like a solo support from Forward, then it is like may be like not enough. So they definitely need a second support coming in, which they're going to be selecting the Embalmer here. So Forward, Psychologist, Acrobat, and the Embalmer. And the Embalmer is actually a decent support because like his coffins being strong in Lakeside Village. So, but this actually also opens the door for Dongshan to play Evil Reptilian should he want to. And even the Gamekeeper is decent against this team comp. Like like the Embalmer, the Psychologist, and the Acrobat can all be chased by the Gamekeeper. And the Ford, like, it's 50-50, but it's still doable. So like, I feel like the Gamekeeper here is like a pretty decent choice considering that, once again, Gamekeeper is meta now. But in the end, Dongshan has opted to select back his Evil Reptilian, and Evil Reptilian is also very strong in Lakeside Village because as like the boat is like pretty much nothing in front of Lucino here. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with this Evil Reptilian, but I personally felt like the Gamekeeper is a better choice considering his high mobility, and also against this team comp, and also like the thing is that there's a thing with Evil Reptilian. Evil Reptilian can jump on the boat and is strong chasing on the boat, but you must bring confined space in order for that to work. Like I've watched the Unhappy stream and I agree with him is that you must bring confined space for it to work. Otherwise, like you cannot do a single thing in the boat if you do not bring confined space. But if you bring confined space, then it'll be very hard for Dongshan to win over here. Like this is a solid team comp that has, I think when I look at this team comp, it's a Taj team comp with a potential chance for a free escape. So I really do feel like maybe the Gamekeeper would be a better choice here because the Gamekeeper does have opportunities to win in this team comp comparing to the Evil Reptilian. Anyways, like I'll see you in the game and I'll talk about the personal selection even more. See you in a bit. Alright, before we enter the game over here, let's see the personal selections from both sides. As we can see this time, Tide Turner have been brought by Forward, and Dongshan have brought Detention and Insolence with Peepers. And honestly, Peeper Evil Reptilian is like something that you don't see that often. And also, as I mentioned earlier, is that Evil Reptilian can jump to the boat fast, but in order to chase someone in the boat, you're going to need confined space, which Dongshan does not have here, so the boat is almost like a dead zone for the Evil Reptilian. And honestly, I feel like the Peeper Evil Reptilian choice is interesting, I'll say the least, because it's not every day we see it. Meanwhile, for the survivors, they do have 2 flywheel effects as they like also expected an Evil Reptilian. So honestly, I just felt like the personal selections from HHDG was pretty on point like throughout the entire BO3, while for FPX.ZQ, there are some like relatively like not the best choice. And here Dongxue is going to head straight into the boat, which I feel like is not the best move at all, because like without confined space, there's no way you're chasing someone in the boat, because like, you know, there are 2 windows and you bang your head against the wall. So yep, it's just going to be a fake out, like have a peeper and then instantly go out, go out, and the psychologist has been found here, but Dongxue is not going to be chasing the psychologist and opting to like move towards the fort and the acrobat straight away. And I feel like it might have been a better choice to chase the psychologist, considering that the psychologist does not have items to like assist her kiting. And yep, like a very good discipline from Xinghe here with his like football usage. And let's see, yep, able on actually not being able to get a hit. Like Xinghe had very good discipline. Like he doesn't try to like preserve his items and use like all his items effectively and being able to enter the double 11. Dongxue opting for a bait here, but Xinghe did not fall for it. And honestly, we can see that like HHDG has won a lot of mind games against Dongxue throughout the day. So yeah, this is really something that is praiseworthy. And look, you're gonna jump, which is too obvious, and boom, at the other side. Yeah, like early game we can see that 3 ciphers are already in, and Dongxue has not even landed a single hit throughout the game. Like why that happened is because he wasted too much time early game. From first of all wandering into the boat, like where a place where the evil reptilian cannot chase, wasted time. And then here, wandering spots the psychologist, not opting to get close, and like move towards the fort and the acrobat, another waste of time. And then like he did chase the fort, which he ended up like not being able to land, which was a good move from Xinghe here. And like he spent around like 30-ish seconds trying to land a hit on the fort and not being able to get any hits at all, another waste of time. And then he's gonna swap to the acrobat, which is more waste of time. Like he had like 3 moves early game that is a waste of time. So this ended up like we're talking about the insolence that's about to be done, and 3 ciphers are about to be done, and he did not land a single hit. Like this is like, I don't want to sound mean or anything, but this is sort of like a poor, like a serious poor play from Dongxue here. Is finally able to get a hit here, but honestly, like with near 3 ciphers, it's just like very, very bad for Dongxue at all. Like I feel like the personal selections onto the actual actions from Dongxue are not on point today, and yep, got palette slammed here, and this is exactly what I mean. Like first of all the peeper choice did not work in his favor alongside with insolence, and second of all, his chases was also not that on point too throughout this game. Like the last game, it was like decent support, it was like 50-50, like Dongxue had decent plays and the survivor had decent plays. In this game, his like play was just like the majority of his play was just like not the best. So yeah, like the acrobat has been shared, but it's talking about like a near 4 cipher kite here, trying to get a slam, but yep, seeing her able to pull it off. And this is one thing to know with Evil Reptilian, is that all you have to do is to like, when you get jumped, instantly make the pull, then the fort can, or rather, then you can pull off the rescue safely. But actually, like going to chase the acrobat, but the acrobat already has the coffin, and yes, honestly, like the team coordination from HHDG was just far too good. So this means that even the acrobat goes down, there's nothing to be worried, as now Dongshan is forced to chair the 4 instead, and this is a 4.5 cipher. But there is actually a major error from HHDG's survivor, which you'll see in a bit. Like after the 4 gets chaired, Dongshan is going to ignore it and go straight for the acrobat here, and this is the like tier 2 evil reptilian being able to tier 2 evil reptilian also has a high mobility, going to jump all the way across here and is able to catch the acrobat, and the acrobat only has 1 bomb left for him to play with. So yep, let's see, go in the mind game here, and yeah, but the evil reptilian can, or rather the acrobat cannot kite for long, and down it goes. So onto the major error I talked about from HHDG is that here they should not have, the Embalmer should not have respawned the acrobat. Like this is a major blunder here. Like you can just leave the acrobat on the ground. Like what's the worst that can happen? Like even if Dongshan somehow finds the acrobat and chair, then respawn now. Like what's the point of respawning straight away? Especially this is an evil reptilian that has high mobility. Like if they just left the acrobat on the ground and waited for him to self-heal or someone to heal them up, then this is still a winning game, because then they can have like the psychologist to rescue and then the embalmer to decode. So by doing so, they allow the acrobat to like get eliminated faster than expected. And if they haven't done that, it would have been a 4-man endgame. So yep, the acrobat's gonna send back to the manor here, and now there's a chance for the evil reptilian to sort of field control, but he does not have confined space at all, meaning that the build is almost like a dead zone for Dongshan. So, and yep, the fort self-healing, like pretty good discipline here, have 1 person to like give Dongshan pressure at the center and 1 to decode at the build. And even if Dongshan is aiming straight for the boat, because he does not have confined space, this means that he cannot down someone effectively at the boat at all. And here, like, we can see that D-King is in no hurry to like leave the boat. He's just gonna hang by near it because he like still has free health. Like all he has to do is to hang by at the boat, and even if he gets hit 3 times, by the time he gets downed, the cipher at the center will be done already. So honestly, at this point, this is like there's just no way for Dongshan to like try and aim for a 3-man or 4-man elimination at all, because like he brought insolence, and it was insolence and detention, and we honestly see that the insolence did not exactly work to his favor. Like it did not came into play, and confined space was not bought, so he cannot chase someone at the boat. And then trump card was not bought, so he had no chance end game. So at this point, yep, going to be chasing Xinghe, who does not have any kiting items, but there's just not much he can do because he has no potential end game at all. So here he's going to opting to like go for the back gate instead, which I feel like he could have continued to chase the fort, get a hit, see if he can down the fort fast before swapping, but honestly I don't think that would have made much of a difference, because like here like he's gambling on downing the embalmer fast and then jumping towards the other gate, but the embalmer does not have borrowed time, and he has bought both the both the knee-jerk reflex and also the flywheel effect, which he used both effectively in order to ensure an escape. So at this point, yep, like the embalmer lasted for enough time, and also the Lakeside Village being a massive map. So the gate is already done, and Dongshan can only settle for a tie. And honestly, looking back, for this game, we should really consider Dongshan lucky being able to score a tie, because early game he wasted a massive amount of time here. Like he wasted near 3 ciphers of time not being able to land a hit due to various reasons. But the survivors end up making a major blunder with the Embalmer. The survivors end up making a major blunder with the Embalmer, allowing the Acrobat to be eliminated before endgame. So like, yeah, this is like a major blunder. Otherwise, it was a free escape for sure. Sorry about that. Yeah, but that was a major blunder from HHDG, because had they not did that, it would have been a free escape for sure, as like Dongshan had no endgame potential here. So yeah, like honestly in this game I feel like Dongshan played poorly at the early game, and also the personal choice just did not work out. So these two things combined puts Dongshan in a major disadvantage, and he only tied because of another major blunder from HHDG. So with this being a tie, this means that FPX.ZQ Survivor must pull off a free escape, and things are not looking too good for them. So anyways, I'm going to see you in the final match between HHDG and ZQ. So see you in a bit, guys. Alright, we're heading into the final match between FPX.ZQ and HHDG. As we know, this is the match where HHDG won. So in the global bans here is sitting the Cord, Mercenary, Antiquarian, and Aeroplanist. Shakes head in disapproval. Because like, yeah, FPX.ZQ expended way too many like meta and strong characters early on, and they did not gain any effect with it, and now they're eating the prize. So as Gamekeeper and the Opera gets banned here, we're seeing the Priestess and the Batter in the ban pick. Priestess obviously Lakeside stuff, and for the Batter it also makes complete sense, because like here like FPX.ZQ Sans Sui, like Sans is known to be a very strong Batter player, and Batter is also like very good if you want to like gamble for a free escape to constant harass. So here Toot is going to get rid of them right off the bat, making sure that FPX.ZQ does not have their best harassing ability out. We are going to be seeing the Seer and the Ford, so yep. I think we never expected one day where Seer in BO3 is not banned and selected. So Seer and Ford out, then the Acrobat to ensure a kiter. Patient is gonna get banned here, and it actually makes sense because Toots are like apart from Opera and Gamekeeper, which he picked up for like COA. He's known to be a very strong Wu Chang Hermit player, and he's also the number one Night Watch player as well. So actually we can see that more or less FPX.ZQ here is like trying to prevent Night Watch, like because in a game where like only a tie is needed, a Night Watch is way more likely than a Hermit, because Hermit is way too risky, and also they have the Barmaid to prevent a Hermit being out. So this team comp here is full on preparation for like a Night Watch, because Night Watch is sort of like a single hit hunter. So this is a very like hard team comp for him. But then again, Night Watch is also like a very tight hunter. So if we look at this team comp wise, it is around 50-50. And honestly, I'll just have to say that this BP is the one that probably made the most sense for FPX.ZQ Survivor the entire day. Like this team comp has some preventions. Like earlier rounds, they expended too many strong rescuers, like strong characters. So now they don't have the anti-current to harass anymore, and they don't have the Aeroplanist to sort of like kind of ensure a safe rescue. So this is a more like, this team comp is solid, but I felt like if they still had the anti-current, they could probably have subbed anti-current for Barmaid, or the Aeroplanist and sub Aeroplanist for the Ford, and anti-current for Barmaid or whatever. Just the global bans is not working out. So yep, Night Watch being selected, which is to nobody's surprise because Tuzi is apparently the S1 Night Watch. Anyway, so we're going to move into the matchup, which is going to be the final game, and I'll see y'all at the start of the game. Once again, before the start of the game, let me just talk about the personal selections. as we're going to be seeing 2 tide turners here, which no surprise because FPX.ZQ needs to gamble. But for Tuzi, he does not have blink this game. Instead, he has brought Insolence and Detention with Teleport. And he also actually has brought, I believe he's also brought the Quenching effect too. Oh, never mind, he doesn't need the Quenching effect. But here, the reason why he brought Teleport is that his goal is very simple. He wants to chase the Seer first. Like, chase anyone else first, you have issues. Acrobat can kite with a Seer Owl. Barmaid can kite with a Seer Owl. Ford can kite with a Seer Owl. So his strategy here is to go outside to wander and then aim straight for the Seer. But there is also a bit of, I'll say, not the best decision. Is that here he knows that the Seer is at the boat, so he's not going to chase first as he wants to teleport, but he's going to be aiming straight for the Acrobat, and I personally don't think that's the best choice. Because as we know, the Ford spawned by the center, so what he should have done is to head straight for the Ford instead and try to force out some football. Because in this team comp, they're pretty reliant on the Ford's harassing, so by forcing out the Ford's football early game, then the Ford would not give Tuzi that big of a hassle. Because here with Acrobat, the Acrobat can kite on his own. And forcing out a bomb is not that effective because if you're going to chase the Seer, then the Acrobat can just end up the code and gain another bomb too. So I feel like Tuzi should have just gone to the center and try and force out some football from the Ford instead of chasing the Acrobat here. So here gonna teleport straight away, and the Seer did not expect that. So this is sort of in terms of personal and skill wise, FPX.ZQ did not expect this teleport as Seer was still near the cipher, and maybe Zibi should have been a little more cautious against a bit more cautious against this teleport. And honestly, yep, and here his owl also got randomly forced out. Here if we look at here, Tuzi did not even do any. Tuzi only shake twice and he already baited Zibi into using the owl, which is going to put Zibi in a very bad position. Because now he has, now he doesn't have any more items remaining. So this is not the best kite here from Zibi, and now he's going to be forced to go towards the center and to find the assist from his teammates, which the Ford is going to come into stun, and then the Barmaid is going to also come to regen the wine, which is going to allow the Seer to get back to full health. But this also puts a bit of a pressure on FPX.ZQ because they're expending their items very early on. And yep, we can see that now the Barmaid is actually going to be following behind the Seer, which I don't know if it's the best move because now the Barmaid is the one gonna get chased. And yes, you have a wine here, but you cannot exactly. It'll be very hard to last in front of a Night Watch unless you're going to looking for the assist of a Ford again, which the Ford is already here. So yes, the first chase is long, but they're expending their entire resource in order to do so. So yep, we can see that the Barmaid managed to regen of the wine in the nick of time, and the Ford has to come to stun to assist again. So we're talking about this is a near free cipher kite situation in terms of ciphers, but the survivor expended all their items, so this is still a tiable game for Tuzi, depending on how he camps and how he field controls endgame. So this is a pretty good combo pulled off by FPX.ZQ in order to make up for the Seer's awkward position. But if the Seer did not put himself in that bad of a position to begin with, then literally this would not have happened in the first place, and they wouldn't have used up their entire resource. So we can see that 2 ciphers, the third one half and 2 half ciphers. So the ciphers are a bit scattered, and Lakeside is a large map and all. Also, this is going to there's still some chance from Tuzi, but it's not much because the survivor did bring 2 tide turners, which means that there's no farming chance at all. the acrobat can safely pull off the first rescue here, and the forward can pull off the second rescue, and the ciphers are going to be enough because we can see the third cipher is being done here, third and fourth are being done, and the last cipher is going to be the one at the boat, which the survivors are going to finish straight away. So actually, if we look at the current situation, it is actually a free escaping game, because the last cipher, even though it's still around 40%, as long as the forward pulls off the rescue, the forward has tied Turner, which buys 20 more seconds, and the ciphers are going to be enough. But then something ended up happening. Is that the forward is trying to buy for time here, and he gets hit, but he's way too far from the chair, and because the Night Watch had teleport, he can instantly TP back, and all of a sudden the forward cannot rescue anymore. And down goes the forward. So let's go back and think about that. Is that in this game the survivors already knew that the Night Watch had teleport. So honestly, as soon as Samsui got spotted from this distance, he's not going to be like, first of all, I definitely have to applaud Tuze's like very good like game sense, knowing accurately where the forward went. But as I mentioned, they know that Tuze had teleport. So as soon as this happened, like as soon as forward get cut off here, there's no way the forward is going to make the rescue. Like here is already way too late because there's teleport. So if you get cut off, I think your best bet is to just either rush towards the chair and hope Tuze hits you, or instantly call for the help of the acrobats to come in to double rescue. Because like this is like a poorly executed rescue, knowing the fact that Tuze had teleport. Like the forward tried to hang and buy for time, but that ended up like backfiring on him massively. Like we can see that the acrobat is rushing in, but it is far too late. So this is like some communication errors and like poor decision making on FPX.ZQ's part. Like honestly, for the forward, like you know that the Night Watch had teleport, then you should have like taken that into account when rescuing. And yeah, that was a poorly executed rescue, and honestly at this point, there's just like next to no chance for FPX.ZQ to get a free escape. Because they expended all their resources, like forward's football is gone, or gone, like from trying to assist, and then like the Seer does not have the owl, as his owl was poorly used, and the acrobat doesn't really have much supporting potential. So honestly, at this point, with the dungeon not being anywhere nearby, there's just no way for the survivors to get a free escape, and this is going to be a tie game for sure. Alright, so with that, this is going to be another tie, and because of the advantage that HHDG received in BO1, so now HHDG has managed to defeat FPX.ZQ, the number one team in terms of like regular season from 2023 IVL Autumn, the 4th placing team in IVL last season, and a professional team. This is the history in terms of China IVL or COA, because we have never seen an amateur team defeat a pro IVL team before. So I've talked about each matchup for some a bit. Obviously, there are some parts that I did not cover or I did not see, so apologize if I missed something crucial. But let's talk about why I felt that FPX.ZQ lost. Honestly, I feel like everything went wrong from them. From the survivor performance to the hunter performance to the ban pick selections, everything went wrong. Like for the hunter, like I talked about Dongshan's like misplay in BO1 and also some minor in BO2, but a major misplay in BO3. Like he had misplays in throughout all 3 matchups, which one of them costed them a 4K, and the other 2 put him in a bad position, which he should not have been making this type of mistake in terms of like being a professional hunter player. For the survivors, they also made some like pretty major blunders throughout the entire matchup, like from BO1, the poor gun, the magician decoding with the Opera's shadow still around. In BO2, the anti-Quarian coming to harass despite the fact the ciphers were far from enough and the patient being blocked a hook. And this one, the poor rescue from the Ford, and also the Sears out, like being randomly forced out and having a poor kite. And finally, the BP also did not work too. The BP also did not work for FPX.ZQ too, because they expended all their like meta characters and did not gain anything out of it. And yeah, honestly, like from what I know is that FPX.ZQ also have like other types of assist, like they also have the intermologist, just like the batter, and some other type of like assisting, but they did not put that out. So honestly, like if you look up of this team, this BP is that it's nothing too special. But if knowing FPX.ZQ has other options, then they definitely could have like selected some better assisting, because like they don't have much assist looking into today. So yep. So anyways, this wraps up the very long like recap and analysis video between FPX.ZQ and HHDG. And for those of you who are watching, thank you so much for like spending your time and watching this very long video from me, from a random guy rambling about a BO3 matchup. But anyways guys, hopefully you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and comment down below, and I'll continue to make more videos for you. Anyways, this is Invisible Jong, and I'll see y'all at the next analysis video. Bye!